Well, hello there, and welcome back to this F1 2017 Sauber career mode at round 5, Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix. I'm very excited for this because Spain, as I said in the previous video, is one of my favourite tracks. There's a few tracks on here that I actually say I like to drive and enjoy, but this is certainly one of them. Last race, Russia, complete and utter disappointment. I'd rather not dwell in it, to be honest, and just focus on the positives of what could happen tonight. In the practice sessions, we've been okay. We've been sort of in the midfield where we pretty much are at the moment. However, I am probably going to be, depending where we end up on the grid, probably trying the one-stop strategy, whilst I think a majority of the field will be going two because of the high tyre wear that you can get around Spain. Good news and bad news on the R&D. Good news is we've had a perfect practice, and you can see there were now just over, or just nearly 1100 resource points. The bad news is, unfortunately, is that the weight redistribution, a major upgrade for the chassis, has failed. So unfortunately, we have not made any progress for the last 2 or 3 races. But the good news is that after qualifying in a race, we should be well over 1200, which means that we can get this reintroduced for the next weekend, which I believe will be Monaco. And you never know, if we end up with at least 1350 points, we'll get another major upgrade done as well. But I'm probably looking at doing the minor one as well. But we are getting close to doing the chassis, which is very, very nice. As for the core competencies as well, I might just keep one eye on this. 12 races away from unlocking 50% of the first driver bonus, 7 classic car events until we halve the development time on the ultimate upgrades. And we're now just 4 races away, or 4 pit stops, 4 racing pit stops away from being 30% quicker, which, you know, every little helps, so it's not too bad. As for the gearbox, 53% coming into qualifying for the 5th event, so this is probably knocking on the door of around 70% by the time it's done. But that's fine, we should be okay. And we're now on to power units number 2, obviously, for qualifying and the race. Still pretty good, to be honest. MG UK is at the highest at 22%, and that's because we run a lot of the race in rich mix. And so that's why it's a lot higher than everything else. But in this, to probably look after the tyres to make sure we can do the one stop, I wouldn't say under fuel the car, but maybe only start with, let's say, 2 extra laps worth of fuel, then keep it in standard. Not only to look after the MG UK, but also to look after the tyres as well. So we'll go to qualifying, something I'm going to do a bit different these days, because we're pretty much always going to go through into Q2 at least, unless something goes wrong. I'm going to completely skip out Q1. You won't see any highlights from it. Apart from the classification at the end of a session, where I'll give a brief summary of what's happened in Q1, and then we'll move on and we'll see some footage from Q2 and hopefully Q3 again if we manage to do what we did in Russia and get through to the top 10 shootout. So I'm going to go to qualifying, and I'll see you all at the end of Q1. Well, like I said, Spain is one of my favourite tracks. Hopefully we can keep this performance going into Q2 and maybe Q3 as well. But 6th place in Q1 then, even I was a bit surprised by that. Just 2,000ths of a second off of the Red Bull of Ricciardo. And we're less than a 10th ahead of Max Verstappen as well. So we'll have a scroll down to the bottom. Ocon's done well to get up into 4th. That's a Sainz in 8th, to be honest. So we'll have a scroll down to see who has been knocked out. Pascal Wehrlein, unfortunately, is qualified in last place. Stroll in 19th, Van Dorn 18th, Massa 17th, and Palmer in 16th have also all been eliminated from Q1. So we'll go forward to Q2 then, and see if we can continue our good performances. So we've done it then, we're into Q3 for the 2nd race in a row. Managed to increase my, did 2 time laps, my 2nd one was about 3.5, I think 3 to 3.5 attempts quicker than the first one, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway, we would have been in at least 9th place, but only, you know, if I found, let's say, 2 tenths from somewhere, it would have been 6th, which is nice. Hamilton and Verstappen doing their laps on the medium, no real sense in that. It's all going to be intermediate start. So Raikkonen, Hamilton, Vettel, Perez, Bottas, Verstappen, Ocon, Ricciardo, myself and Kvyat are through to the top 10, which means that Grosjean, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Magnussen and Alonso have all been eliminated. So then, top 10 shootout, we will be going out in the soft tyres, and I would like to at least maybe challenge for a top 8 position and hopefully get into the 1 minute 20. So Q3 coming up next then. We all start on the intermediate tyres due to the wet start of the race, so everything to play for. So then the outlap is almost done. We'll get just about 2 time laps in. Got enough fuel for it as well. So here we go. So at the final corner, are we going to get ourselves into the 1 minute 20s? No, but we're at least in 5th place. So let's go again, see if we can improve. P3, look at that, we're up to P3. Purple in sector 3 as well. Haven't got enough fuel, and there's a few seconds left of the session, so we will not be being able to complete this lap, unfortunately, but it's fine. P3 for now. So we were momentarily in P3, but then everyone else looks like they have improved massively as well. I mean, some people were like over a second quicker than us, which is a bit of a shame, but which means we do start in 9th. Oh, it'd have been nice to be starting towards the front of the field and only a few tenths off the pole and all that, but we will start in 9th. We're good in the wet, and if we manage to time the change right from inters onto dry, might be able to make some time up as well, and depending when we have to go into the dries, you might have to be able to put on the medium or the hards, so there's still a lot to go for in the race, but we're off to a good start anyway. We know we've got good pace in the dry. Let's just hope that we can keep it clean in the wet as well, and hopefully we can get a good result. So then the resource points for qualifying, this will be a nice little amount indeed. 1215 in total, 105 which is the maximum I believe you can get in a qualifying session. The rivalry update, well, we did out qualify Grosjean and we got through to Q3, so we completed qualifying, so again moved 2 points ahead of him. And the reputation level, of course, this will be up to the max after this race hopefully as well. McLaren almost at 100% again. And now we'll listen to the voice with them for the race, see what they've got to say. Finishing 14th and beat Grosjean. Well, as long as we keep it clean, that's definitely achievable. Not much else to look at then, so we'll go straight to the race, have a look at the strategy, see when this rain is going to stop, and yeah, let's see if we can have a good start.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Perez, Ocon, Ricciardo, Sauber, and Daniel Kvyat. Grosjean, Hulkenberg, Carlos Sainz, and Magnussen, Alonso, Palmer, Felipe Massa, and Stoffel Van Dorn. Stroll and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So in 9th place, nobody has a penalty. Looks like that the rain is going to ease off about a third of the race in, about 10 laps, something like that, which will probably negate a switch to play safe onto the hard tyres. Like I said, we'll try and look after the hard tyres as best as we can, so we'll just run with 2 extra laps worth of fuel. Very nice indeed. So we'll go and do the formation lap, get that over and done with, and then get this race on the go. Here we are then on the grid. Lights are coming on now. Let's hope for a clean first lap. And away we go. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin. Short shift a little bit. We're losing positions. Oh, here comes the hard as well. Oh, we'll look after the racing line then. Oh, a couple of these guys a bit slow. I'm going to do an Alonso here, right around the outside. Oh, 2 wheels on the grass. Oh, bit of contact there. I think we managed to get away with no damage, though. Thank God for that. Up to 7th place then. Have a bit of a half chance here at Ocon. Yeah, it's a late one up the inside. More contact the Force India driver. We'll give him space on the exit though, but we'll out drag him. 6th place then. Oh, Jeff's come over the radio and said Verstappen behind us has got a mechanical issue, so that's one less driver to worry about straight away. So into lap 3, good opportunity to check the weather. Looks like the weather's going to dry up in about 5 minutes, to quote Jeff. So that will definitely be onto the hard tyres then, which hopefully I can get to the end of the race. So I'm all over the back of Perez here, running rich mix for now then to burn through some of this fuel. Hopefully we get a good exit here at the final corner. We have. This could be a move for 5th. Come on, Slipstream, please work for me. I'm going to go for it anyway. Up the inside. Oh, that was close. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Oh, Perez, don't squeeze us, please. Nice. Up to 5th. The only cars ahead of us now are the Ferraris and the Mercedes. Oh, I can't provide me with information right now. Look at the window, mate. Look at the fucking radar screens that you guys have. You're an F1 team. You can tell me where the weather cycles are. Fuck it, I'll do it myself. Bit of blue sky in the air. So I think the rain is, well, it looks like the rain's actually stopped. So now it becomes a waiting game. We'll just come over the radio to say we've got an alternate strategy available. Depends what the leaders do. If they all dive in, I'll follow them. But we've got a car going slowly in sector 1. You can see the yellow flags, which means probably the VSC will be out at some point. No, they're all carrying on. I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to carry on as well. Austria is still fresh in my memory when we was in a really good position. And Jeff made us pit about 4 laps too early. Again, just come around to complete lap 7. Everyone is carrying on, which is fine by me, because the longer this goes on for, the better chance we have of being able to just pit onto the hard tyres. At the moment, medium's probably going to be the best. So the longer this goes on, the better it will be. My DRS is now being active. Some of the back markers are already in the pits. Oh, these guys are moving about in the braking zone. Yeah, it's definitely time for the dry tyres. We're pitting at the end of this lap for a set of hard tyres. And then we're going to try and take these bad boys, well, I think something like 23 laps. Which is not easy in Spain. Nice entry as well. So here we go then. We'll probably lose a little bit of time to the guys that were just behind us. Hopefully not too much though. Onto the hard tyres then. No guts, no glory. So we're at in 7th place. Massa sets the fastest lap of the race. A lot of these guys I think are on either soft or medium tyres, so they'll all definitely have to pit again. The plan for us is to look after these tyres and not have to pit again. There's a right old train up here behind one of the Mercedes drivers. Not too sure if he's got wing damage or an engine problem. But we're all queuing up here. Good exit out the final corner here. I have an opportunity around Perez. At the inside. Gives us the space. I'm not too sure if Bottas has got a problem or not. I mean, he's on the medium tyres compared to everyone else around that's on the softs, but we're on the hard tyres and in a Sauber. And we're really pushing him here. We're going to get DRS as well. Here comes a legit move on the Mercedes. Up to 5th place. Okay then, nice little status report into lap 23 of 33, 10 laps to go. And we're at 36% on the front left, so I reckon by lap 30 we'll be knocking on the door of about 55%, which is fine. We'll definitely get to the end. We're in 3rd place now. The nearest car to challenge is Ricardo, who's about 8 or 9 seconds back, and he doesn't have to stop again. So essentially, we're in a fight with the Red Bull with Ricardo for 3rd place here. So into lap 27 then. 7 to go, including the 1-1 now. Almost 50% in the front left. Like I said, we will get to the end, but Ricardo is now 1.5 seconds behind. You've just seen him there, and we've also about a lap over target at the moment, or under target, which means I'm going to probably have to run the last 5 or 6 laps here in lean mix. And there is a Mercedes close behind Ricardo as well, so we're in danger of not only finishing 3rd here, but we might struggle to be 4th as well. So we go into lap 28. Here comes Ricardo. We're already into fuel saving mode. We might have to stay in it down to the end of the race. Okay then, across the line, lap 30 out of 33, one more lap in fuel saving mode. We're going to go back to standard. The gap between Hamilton and myself was 12.5, it's now down to 9.1, so he's taking at least a second and a half a lap out of us. Alonso's out of the race, unfortunate for him, with just a few laps to go. But I think we can just about hold off Hamilton here. Yellow flags are out again in Sector 2. Verline again out of the race. Jeez, I think it's the third time this season Verline's retired. Kind of hoping it was someone from the top 3, to be honest. I think I deserve a podium after today's race. There he is on the side of the track. 2.5 laps to go. We're doing alright now. I think we'll be fine. I tell you, we're really now struggling with the tyres. I think we might actually come under a bit of attack from these guys behind us. We're coming into the final lap. Verstappen won't have DRS over the main straight. I've had to put it into rich mix. Oh, now I can't. I've got to leave it in standard. Oh wow, our 4th place is really under threat now. I'm going to have to defend like absolutely anything here. Vettel's won the race. I don't really care. It's all about the battle for 4th. I'm going to have to defend the inside line. Verstappen's going to try and do it around the hard way. Drift and push him out wide. As long as we don't fall off the road, we should be able to hold him back now. Couple more corners to go. We're good for fuel. Don't mess this up. Come on, to the line, to the line, to the line. 4th place. Get in there. Great result. So there we go then. Vettel's won the race with Raikkonen in 2nd, Ricciardo in 3rd, and we just about held off Verstappen and Hamilton at the end to take 4th place. Great result really from 9th on the grid. Made the hard tyres last, just, although they were absolutely dead in the final 2 laps. Ocon and Perez 7th and 8th. Bottas with his problems in 9th, and Kvyat picks up the final point. We've got Massa, Grosjean, Magnussen all a lap down, Sainz in 14th, Stroll in 15th, Hulkenberg in 16th, and Palmer in 17th, and Van Dorn was 18th and last 2 laps down. Verline and Alonso, we know, failed to finish. So the standings then, Bottas leads, Raikkonen 2nd, Verstappen in 3rd, Vettel back up to 4th, but Hamilton back in 7th place. He's 33 points off his teammate. We've jumped up to 9th thanks to our 12 points, very happy with that. Further down, a few drivers still yet to score. Of course, both Williams still 0 points. In the constructors, Ferrari have jumped up from 3rd to 1st on 131, 8 ahead of Mercedes and 14 ahead of Red Bull. Force India a clear 4th place, and we've jumped up to 5th ahead of Haas and Renault on 21 points. So good little midfield battle there. A long way back, McLaren in 8th on 4, Toro Rosso on 2, and Williams still yet to score. So the resource points for the race, this will be a very healthy amount, up to 1,340. And now the practice, qualifying and race sessions as well, all good points, another 60, exactly 1,400 then. The rivalry update, yeah, look at that, we're now 4 points ahead of Grosjean as we head into Monaco, so we'll probably end up being behind him now. Team approval, back up to the maximum as you could expect, finishing 14th for higher and beating our teammate, and look at the reputation got of a majority of the teams there, very nice indeed. And finally, the career score for the weekend, this should be comfortably over 10,000, oh look at the amount of points I'm going to get, this is probably the highest I've ever had. 15,873, yep, that's probably the highest I've ever had. Good stuff then. So we'll have a look at the laptop then. We've got resource points to spend. So first of all, where am I going? I want to do this, don't I? Right, so first of all, that's getting done. Leaves us with 950, and we could do that one there as well, which will move us up probably level with Red Bull, but I think we'll spend another 900 then on another medium upgrade. We've only got 3 left after this, so we'll do that as well then. Engine cover distribution, the weight redistribution. A newly designed engine cover provides a more symmetrical weight distribution without compromising any of its protection capabilities. Yep, okay, we'll do that as well. So 2 major developments. One will definitely come in. The other one is 50-50, hopefully it will, and that should hopefully jump us up maybe even ahead of Red Bull and Mercedes in the chassis department, so we might be very close to Ferrari, which is nice. Not much else to look at then, unfortunately. That is it. Yeah, all pretty good to be honest. Yeah, obviously I'll change back to unit number 1 for the next event, which I believe is going to be Monaco. It is, so yeah, we're probably not going to have a great weekend. I do struggle around Monaco, certainly with the simulation damage as well. But Spain, 4th place, good qualifying, great race as well. Made the hard tyres last just about. And yeah, good result then after the disappointment of Russia. So thank you very much for watching this episode. And I'll see you after, well, probably in a few days' time, to be honest, for round 6 at Monaco.